You guys are SCP fiends! Fiends! You bloody love an SCP. You are the ones who won't let me be. Nonetheless, welcome back to the most amazing channel on the internet. I am your host, a lady in red, wearing what I would like to describe as a power belt. My name's Rebecca Felgate, and today we are talking the top 10 scary SCP that could end the world, part 4. Now I told you guys, if you make me do a part 4, you're gonna need to start paying for my therapy, so consider that. Also, one of these nearly made me physically sick, so bleh. Before we get into this list, why don't you tell me, if you were an SCP, what would you do? I guess today I'm feeling like if I was an SCP, I'd wear red, but if you were exposed to me like you are right now, the only colour that you would see for the rest of your life would be red, so there. If you like our videos, please do leave a thumbs up and share them with a friend. Why not also check out the links in our description box to our most amazing Instagrams, and stick around at the end of the video for answers to your questions. Let's start and end this video with a fleshy mass, shall we? Get ready. Coming into number 10, we have SCP-2059, the Flesh Wall. This is basically my worst nightmare. It seems like it started its life underwater, but it can live and absorb things anywhere. The SCP is an autonomous and sentient mass of flesh, organs, and bones, but it is notably lacking in keratinous material like hair and nail. The so-called wall of flesh absorbs anything it touches, and right now it's comprised of a blue whale, a giant squid, 2 dolphins, 300 rodents, 30 living humans, 1 dead human in an advanced state of decomposition, and several household pets and livestock. Great, it's like a sick Noah's Ark. The flesh wall is contained, but if it wasn't, it would absorb everything and anything that it touched, meaning that the whole planet, animals and humans alike, could in theory become part of the sentient flesh. Blech. Coming into number 9, we have 008. SCP-008 is an extreme biological hazard that seems like it is primed and prepped to be used in biological warfare. The SCP is locked in the Foundation and is described as a complex prion. It is 100% infectious and is 100% lethal if untreated. It's transmitted through human contact and exposure to mucous membranes. It isn't airborne though. Symptoms are flu-like and involve a high fever, later followed by quick onset severe dementia. 12 hours after the dementia presents, those contaminated will fall into a coma and appear to develop gangrene. Harrowingly, patients don't die. Yet, they become twisted, oozing beings with mental retardations. They'll bite and grab and claw at other humans. Eventually though, the illness will devour them and they will die. While SCP-008 is contained in the Foundation, it is believed that it could be replicated, and it is also possessed by the Russian government. The only good news is that there is a cure, SCP-500. It's a diminishing supply of red pills that seem to cure anything. But there are only 47 left, so if the whole world was infected by 008, we'd literally all be screwed anyway. Hooray! Coming into number 8, we have SCP-938. 938 is an electrical entity of Keter class. It is stored in the Foundation in a non-electrical room insulated with PVC. Now it also seems that this storage facility holding the SCP seeps a kind of blood, which doesn't sound great, does it? The SCP is predatory, and when it gets loose, it acts like an electrical storm, travelling through power grids and into homes. Once a home is infected with the SCP, it will use household electrical appliances to electrocute people. Not only that, even if people think they're smart by avoiding touching electronics, simply being near the SCP has been reported to send people mad with paranoia. If this SCP got out, it could cause apocalyptic storms and infect all of our buildings and cars. And also, just out of curiosity, what is the longest that you've gone without touching anything electrical? Exactly. Yes, your phone counts. Bah. It would electrocute you. Dead. Dead! Coming into number 7, we have SCP-839, the Candy Worms. Do not eat these jelly worms. Don't do it. I don't really eat candy anyway, but like, I wouldn't if this was real. SCP-839 are flavoured sugared worms that when ingested burrow into a person's body and replace one of their vital organs. For example, the blue colour worm, SCP-8392, is blue raspberry flavour, not a real flavour. It burrows to replace a kidney, eventually resulting in blue urine and kidney failure. SCP-8397 is orange flavour and burrows into the liver, which then works to turn a person's blood to acid. The 4 variant is pink and replaces a living person's brain, and sadly the data has been expunged from then on. So how could this end the world? Well, it seems that the jelly worms can breed. They actually actually can't harm you unless you eat them, but I guess there could be a scenario in which people are force-fed sweet fruity worms and we all die of acid blood, but maybe that is a stretch. Still though, the sweets, they'll get you. Next up we have SCP-037. SCP-037 is a small-scale dwarf star found in the 1900s in Beaufort Sea near the North Pole. The star is just 5 centimeters in diameter, but is extremely hot and causes a great deal of electromagnetic interference. It seems that the SCP is undergoing transformation into a red giant, which is confusing because usually the red giant stage happens before the dwarf star stage. But this is an SCP and honestly, who knows what the actual frog is happening. It seems that this SCP needs to be kept deep underground so that its blistering heat doesn't affect its surroundings. Plans are underway to get SCP-037 off our planet before it becomes a red giant and eventual stellar nova. This seems likely to, melt stuff in a serious way. If we can't get her gone, well, it's been nice knowing you. Next up we have SCP-048, and I love some facts for you in a mid-list spot. There is no SCP-048. Actually, it is said that this designation is cursed. For now, the number has been retired due to a spate of unfortunate incidents with previous SCPs given this number. They've either died or been lost, and well, nobody wants an SCP to be lost and on the loose. Additionally, it seems that the Foundation employees assigned to 048 have a 50% higher death rate than those assigned to other SCPs. On one occasion, it seems that an SCP-048 was lost shortly before its caseworker had his arm suspiciously amputated. Nobody wants a cursed SCP. Absolutely nobody. Okay, so where do we go from SCP-048? The next logical place. Up next we have SCP-049, the Plague Doctor. And oh no, this guy is not good. Not good at all. SCP-049 is contained, but if he or it got out, it would be bad news bears. It seems that SCP-049 looks like a plague doctor, the creepy medieval beak-wearing cloaked figure that come to treat people infected with plague. These days, plague isn't really an issue, especially not in the developed world. So, not seeing many plague doctors around in my life. If you do see one, it's probably this menacing SCP. This SCP is capable of communicating, but likes to do so in medieval French or English, so good luck. 049 thinks that humans are infected with pestilence and wants to quote-unquote cure them. So how does he do it? Well, SCP-049 is capable of stopping all of your biological functions by simply touching you. Basically, he touches you and you die, which pretty much sucks. After those infected with the so-called pestilence are killed, 049 then proceeds to conduct autopsies on the victim, bringing them back to life as SCP-0492s, basically human zombies. 049 refers to these brain-dead subjects as being cured, but I don't know about that. Next up we have SCP-1012, the Secret Chord. So SCP-1012 is a secret chord consisting of 5 notes. These 5 tones are named as frequency A, B, C, D, and E. Now it is said that frequency A is slightly higher than G sharp, whereas B through D are not audible to human ranges. E is within human hearing range, but very seldom is used in the chromatic scale. It's been described as sounding like a whale song. If all 5 notes are played together in a chord, then all subatomic particles within range will disintegrate, and then everything touching them will disintegrate too, causing a chain reaction of the breaking down of everything. It has been suggested that this SCP be used to protect against extraterrestrial threats, but this has been rejected due to the potentially hazard side effects of testing. Great. The only thing we can do to protect ourselves should SCP-1012 be unleashed is wear noise-cancelling headphones. Coming into number 2, we have SCP-001, the Reality Failure. It seems that there are a lot of SCPs labelled 001, but absolutely all of them end in catastrophe. This particular version is known as the Sky or Reality Failure. It is characterised by a change in colour of the sky, then by a series of sub-anomalies, including a levitating spherical static. Anything that passes through this static is replaced with argon gas, making it look like it's disappeared. Faintly observable through the gas is a humanoid with long limbs with prominent facial features. Now this is referred to as SCP-0012. The Foundation notes read, in the event of SCP-001 occurring, all personnel including D-Class are to be honourably discharged and may do what they wish with their remaining time on Earth. All sapient and non-aggressive SCPs are to be released. Any further SCPs which which can be decommissioned RTB. During this event, the global populace will become aware of the fate of the Earth and its inevitability. They will also experience heavily decreased levels of violence. I don't know about that. Decreased? If the world was ending, would people not go crazy, especially with all the SCPs on the loose? However though, there is a small chance that if caught quickly, the world ending could be quelled. It seems that by entertaining 0012 by reading it books can actually restore the whole thing to pre-incident point. Mind-boggling. Alright, I warned you, this is gross, I hate number 1, we have SCP-597, the Mother. Do you want to see a little picture of this one before we talk about it? This was posted on Reddit by Suckdolacus, and it shows the Mother, aka SCP-597. Now the Mother presents as a blob of booby flesh. It's a mass replete with teats. It's pretty gross. The SCP is kept locked away and staff guarding it can only do so for 5 hours until they need to be replaced with other personnel never before exposed to it. Male staff are not allowed near the Mother, but females are also likely to succumb to her thrall. All personnel must undergo mental clearance after they have been exposed to 597. It seems anyone around the SCP falls in love with it in a weirdly obsessive way. They want to suckle the TT mass, and they'll do so if they get the chance. Gross, 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 gross. Ugh, TT mass. When they have drunk milk from the Mother, they will go mad and they will not leave her side. Now those forced to leave will become insane and try and suckle anything and everything they can get their hands on, which is again gross. Some who do manage to cling on to the Mother die of suffocation, others just literally stay there forever. Blech. The SCP possesses a mental pull on all living things, drawing them in and reducing them to babies, but like perverse, infatuated, and occasionally kind of rapey babies. If this SCP got out, then we would all be drawn to it eventually, and the aim would be to drink its milk until we die, and what with a population of 7.5 billion flocking to the Mother, dying seems like a likelihood, a really, 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 really gross one. I'm actually honestly now thoroughly creeped out and I feel a bit dirty. Do you guys want a part 5? I really actually kind of hope that you don't. Let me know though. I don't know, I feel like I'm unclean. I'm unkeen and unclean. Before I go, I'm just going to read some comments from part 3. Jodie Kingsbury said, SCP-3007 is a dangerous entity. It says that if it escapes, a worldwide extinction would cause humanity to fall. SCP-001 is like, am I a joke to you? You're right, 01 is like the OG evil. Everything else just kind of pales in comparison. Wicked50LTR said, SCP-6383180, a banana that becomes bigger and bigger and can end the world. Mohammed Zelza said, I'm so glad that this is a fictional thing. Oh my god, aren't we all Mohammed, honestly? So guys, that was that. If you like this video, please do leave a thumbs up, share it with a friend. I'm your host, Rebecca Felgate, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!